Hey family. All right, this is I guess we can say this is part two of the reasons that really I left Christianity. And so I had mentioned before that uh, belief in going to hell for eternity and dealing with really my first time dealing with racism when leaving from home on the college campus. But one of the things that it taught me was that good people come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and that it was really the time that I spent at that campus, that college campus, I would not trade for the world, because it gave me lessons that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else, and it's part of who I am now. Those lessons are basically things that allowed me some of the wisdom that I'm able to share now. And without that, I don't know who I would be necessarily. You know, but one of the reasons why I am not into the kind of, I guess, the racist side of a lot of this expanded knowledge is that, one, I know that it's just low vibrational knowledge and low vibrational experiences that those ideas really promote. And two, even while I was at this college and I was amongst people that would be considered racist, that were white, there were many other people that I met there that were white, and there were many other races that really spurred me along. Because understand, I was an athlete, and I always did pretty well in school, but I never, well, I won't say I never. I don't know if I really understood the level of intelligence that I had, but I had people that encouraged me. And I remember one lady in particular. She was a white lady that was married to a guy from Mexico, and they were the Almanzas, and some of the most beautiful human beings I have ever met in my life. And I will be forever indebted and grateful to Mr. and Mrs. Almanza, and because she really gave me the confidence that I could do well in college. And I did my first 2 years. Understand, as a basketball player, as an athlete, you're kind of seen a certain way and you see yourself a certain way, and you can buy into a certain way of thinking. But she gave me the confidence that I had the academic ability, to actually get a degree. And one of the classes that I really enjoyed my sophomore year was a psychology class. And I was just telling her about my experience there and how much I loved it and just enjoyed it, and I really did well with that class. And she said, well, why don't you major in psychology? And by that time, I hadn't really I knew one of my majors was business, because we needed a double major at that school. But my other major, I really wasn't sure about. And she says, why don't you major in psychology? And once she said that, I was like, yeah, why not? And so that's what I ended up doing, and I ended up getting a degree in it. But without her and her encouragement along those years, because her son was actually my roommate in college. We played on the basketball team together, and he was my roommate. But without her encouragement, I probably would have ended up quitting school. Probably would have ended up quitting at the end of that year. I almost decided to do that. But somebody that I had befriended and who was white encouraged me to stay, and another student. And again, I'll always be indebted to this individual, because they helped me through something that I might not have gone through or been able to withstand otherwise. So, but what that taught me is that there are good people. And I'm going to repeat this and stress this. There are good people in every race, okay? So this idea that you can generalize about individual, or You can meet one or two individuals and generalize about a whole race of people is really quite ignorant to me. And that's why I don't stand on this idea that this information and knowledge is only for Black people, because I think it can help anyone in humanity that wants to learn it and practice it, you know? So that idea of me dealing with, there was, I guess, there was levels of people that I dealt with there, because I understood in dealing with, there was a certain group that were definitely racist, and they would literally, you know, again, because I was a basketball player, you know, they would talk to me and stuff like that, and I would talk to them, just get their ideas, and wanted to see, you know, why they thought what they thought, you know. So I remember meeting a young lady who, at that time, this was back in the 80s, apartheid was really rampant in South Africa. And I remember talking to a young lady who was from South Africa, who was white, that would sit down and have long discussions and conversations with me. And basically, I looked at her and I asked her, I said, okay, because I knew what was going on in South Africa. I knew that in South Africa that they didn't really deal with Black people very much. And I asked her, I said, well, you know, why is it that you can sit here and talk to me, but you don't like Black people in South Africa? And she looked at me and says, you know, says, because you're different. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, I'm different. I'm like, you know, I know she probably meant that in a complimentary way, but the way I took that is that you have people that are just like me in South Africa that you won't even give a chance to. But because you're here in this country, you look at me as something different because you know me and you've gotten to know me, you know? And I basically, I ended up saying that to her, and whether or not it made a difference, I don't know. But you know, we see each other on campus and say hello and keep going, but you know, never really developed a deep relationship with her. But I just thought it was interesting. but bottom line is just people are people, man. And the way I look at it is my tribe is who I vibe with, you know, not necessarily the same people that are my race and skin color, because I love all people. I can get along with all people. I'm going to deal with people that I know that respects me and can appreciate me. And if you can't, I'm not going to like beat down your door to try to make you appreciate and respect me. I'm just going to go another direction and take the path of least resistance. That's why a lot of times when I'm hearing people, Black people, that are getting angry with white people, or that they feel like are white people that are just racist in the society and stuff like that, I understand that it's definitely true, that racism is true, okay? In my experience, it is absolutely true. But you have to understand the difference between what is true and what is truth, okay? Truth is all-encompassing universal knowledge, universal experience that every bit of our reality is riding on. But what is true is what we're dealing with in our day-to-day lives. It is the reflection of us. It is the reflection of our being, okay? When you get caught up in what is true, you can hate others, you know? You can hate others that don't look like you, or that are a threat to you, all right, or you feel that are a threat to you. But when you operate in truth, then you're going to operate into the lovingness of the Creator and your being as an aspect of the Creator. That's really what you know, this whole level of experience in this life and this reality is about, is learning to understand what's true and how you're going to deal with that, but then operating in truth. All right. So if you vibe with me, you're my tribe. If this message does not vibe with you and you think otherwise, you're not my tribe. Plain and simple. I don't care what race you are. So it's about love, compassion, and understanding for me. And that's where we operate from. And that's going to be for ourselves and for others. Okay? So bottom line. All right, this is Reginald Kuakaru. And here at Comedic Centered Living, we learn to live life boldly, authentically, unapologetically, and on our terms without guilt or shame. All right, guys, y'all have a great rest of the day.